Alright, so today we're going to be talking about why Kid is going to be one of the villains for Elbaf, I believe, anyway. Before we get into it, though, make sure you like and subscribe for more One Piece videos like this. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So, this whole idea for me started when I thought about Kid's entire goal of the Apu-Hawkins alliance, right? So his main goal was to basically take down Shanks, right? We know he doesn't like Shanks. We know he had a confrontation with him at one point and got his arm taken off. Shanks pulled a little sashimi Zoro type shit and basically one-shot Kid and his entire fucking crew, right? And here's what I believe is going to go on, right? So obviously we see now that Luffy is taking down Kaido after he was absolutely battered, carrying an island and all that jazz, right? So many people believe that Luffy's going to take down Big Mom at Elbaf, and that's how he's going to become basically a true Yonko, by taking down another one, 1v1, and all that jazz. And I do think that's going to happen. I'm a very big supporter of that. But in my eyes, right, I think there's going to be a duality to that situation on Elbaf. I think we're going to have Luffy as a hero taking down a villain in Big Mom, and then Kid as a villain taking down Shanks. Now, put in mind, this is 100% speculation, and it's probably not going to happen. I do think Kid's going to be a villain in Elbaf. I think that's almost certain, but I don't know if he'll take down Shanks. But I do want to entertain the idea for a little bit, though, because if you think about it, Oda hasn't really done much with Kid, and that has been a big contention in the fan base for quite a while now. And what Kid is supposed to be the big rival to Luffy. In fact, that Kid was the only one of the supernovas Oda originally intended. And if you think about it, his similarities to Shanks are are so much. He's a red-haired pirate. He's the red-haired pirate, right? He's the big redhead of this generation. He's at a certain point, he was the top of his generation. He's obviously being parallel to Shanks. He doesn't like Shanks. Shanks did something to him when he was a kid, or did something to slay him, and he hates him. He wants him to be taken down. Now, whether he has a problem with Shanks because of taking his arm, or whether there was something that initially made him go to Shanks to make him take his arm. And if we look at it, though, if we go from the idea that he is wanting revenge, everything that has gone wrong in his life at this current point has because of Shanks. He started his alliance to take down with Apu and Hawkins because Shanks took his arm. You know, he went up against Kaido, got fucked because of Shanks. Killer got his smile fruit because I went up against Kaido, which was in retaliation to Hawkins and Apu joining Kaido. So it's everything that's gone wrong in Kid's life is because of Shanks. So obviously, if everything goes to how the main theory is at the moment in the fan base, with Shanks being on Elbaf and we're going to Elbaf at some point, if Kid gets, my biggest theory on how Kid's going to be at Elbaf, because he's not joining Luffy, that's not happening. I don't believe that's happening. I think it's going to be kind of a Roger Whitebeard situation where they both show up on the same island at the same time. And what's going to happen, in my eyes, is, right, they show up at the island and Luffy runs into Shanks, right? They have that clash, all that jazz. Everyone's like, wow, what the fuck, right? But Kid loses his shit. He's obviously pissed. He's very furious. And he loses his shit. He wrecks everything. He fucking destroys whatever village they're around in Elbaf. He gets a massive pile of metal. Fucking messes the shit up. Destroys the place, yeah? And then we get Kid basically going on a bit of a rampage. Obviously, Shanks and Luffy may subdue him straight away. But we know Kid, right? He is eventually gonna get back up on his feet and do it again. So maybe he's out for most of the arc, right? Maybe he's out. Kind of like how Luffy was out during the Kaido fight, right? He's out. We have that interaction between Shanks and Luffy that we've always wanted. And Luffy gets acknowledged by Shanks. Maybe he temporarily gives him the hat back, right? Maybe we get that. Or maybe Shanks is like, it's your hat now. you've earned it or something like that. Maybe that's the whole idea of it, yeah. And then Big Mom comes back. Obviously, she might want her revenge further on Kid and Law. So Law might still be there, as I think Law will still be hanging around with the Straw Hats, but I'll talk about that in a future video. My point being is that we're going to see more from Big Mom, right? And when Big Mom shows up, right, and Big Mom causes a hassle, maybe Loki comes out, all that jazz. We get these two villains. Luffy's probably going to go up against Big Mom. Loki's probably going to go up against Usopp. Usopp gets his big moment as a brave warrior of the sea. But then, out of nowhere, right, before Shanks is about to deal with the situation, Kid comes out. Kid gets back up. Kid gets back up and he surprise attacks Shanks, get a decent blow on him, maybe handicaps him a little bit. And then, also, if you think about it, he's seeing Advanced Conqueror's Hoppy up close. At this point, if we go with it 3 times, maybe 4, right? If we get the whole Shanks-Luffy clash and he gets to see that, right? So we see that. And we know, just like he might learn it the same way Luffy did. He might understand it. And then eventually, he figures out Advanced Conquerors. And right? Shanks is a bit tired a little bit from the Luffy fight, and also Kid got a big hit up on him, and he doesn't necessarily have to have Advanced Conqueror's Hockey in that surprise attack either, because the idea would be that the reason Advanced Conqueror's Hockey was so important for Kaido was because Kaido has strong skin, but as we know, Shanks is a bitch. Shanks is a bitch. He gets scars. He gets scarred by early Blackbeard. He gets his arm taken off by a Sea King. The man's got skin as tender as a foot after surgery, right? It's not his foot's not. His skin ain't that tough, right? So if we get a kid that has figured out Advanced Conquerors after being knocked out, after seeing Advanced Conquerors up to 3 to 4 times after the Wano fight, and then that one time when Luffy and Shanks fight, and then he gets taken out by them after he causes a little rampage, and then he finally figures it out like Luffy did against Kaido, and then he has a surprise Advanced Conquerors. That's going to do more damage to Shanks, and maybe that handicaps him for their fight. And then we see they fight, him and Shanks fight, and Luffy and Big Mom fight. And as maybe maybe he takes out Shanks. And if he does, it parallels the second Luffy takes out Big Mom, Kid takes out Shanks, and maybe we see him kill Shanks. I don't think so. I think people will be fucking pissed because the main theory right now is Blackbeard kills Shanks. Because we could see a thing where they both take him out at the same time, but as we know, maybe Zoro or Sanji stops him from killing Shanks. Because they know that he's important to Luffy. So I doubt he's going to be able to kill Shanks, but he might take him out. Because not only is he tired from fighting Luffy, he's also handicapped from that surprise attack, if this is how it goes down, right? To me, that would be an interesting arc for Kid. Maybe then Kid is kind of drunk on power, goes terrorizing a bit more of Elbaf. This was the land red-haired cultivated. I'm going to wreck it. And he goes fucking messing shit up. Metal everywhere. Killers going on a fucking rampage against Zoro. And maybe Zoro fights against Killer. We get a Killer fight. Or maybe me. I don't know. We could see it. It'd be very cool. Very, very cool. And it would also be hinted at from them talking, I'm stronger in the rooftop fight. I think there's a lot to be done here. It's a very interesting, and it'd be a good way, let's say, when Kid gets back up, he flashes back to his backstory, and that's how we get his backstory. And this arc, we really empathize with Kid, or even it's just fun to see him be an absolute fucking madman, right? Maybe that's what we're looking for, because we know Kid's not supposed to be a good guy, and it would be a really cool way to have his climax for a character. And he's taking out Shanks. Maybe he's exhausted as well. Luffy's exhausted from fighting Big Mom. And maybe they have a fight at the end of the arc. The very, very end of the arc, they have a fight. And let's say it's kind of like, they both knock each other out, or they both fall onto the ground that way. That type of vibe. Naruto Sasuke type vibe, rivalry type fight. And they're both exhausted. Kind of like Law and Kid at the end of the Big Mom fight, right? because they've both taken out emperors. And do I think that's going to satisfy kids? I don't know. Maybe whatever happened with Shanks will be resolved and Kid will be, back to how he was in the Wano arc. Or I don't know. Maybe he'll just lick his wounds. Killer will take him out of there once he collapses, and he'll lick his wounds and he'll come back. He'll come back again, and he'll probably help Blackbeard kill Shanks. You never know. Something might happen. He might be that big wild card we see. Maybe Elbaf builds him up for a future collaboration with Blackbeard, or even just a sneak attack to take out Shanks while he's fighting Blackbeard. There's a lot that could be done with Kid, and I feel like Elbaf is going to be the making of him as a villain, and it excites me incredibly, personally, and I can't wait to see what happens with him. And what does this mean for Killer as well? Because Killer is obviously going to play a big part, because he is the right hand man to Kid, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see what Oda does with Killer as well. I'm assuming he fights Zoro, in the Elbaf arc, and maybe he fights fucking Ben Beckman and gets his ass kicked, because Oda's not gonna downplay the Shanks. That's why I think he's gonna get a sneak attack off on Shanks, because they've already taken him out once in the arc, and they're kind of, they're focusing on Big Mom. Maybe Loki's doing some shit. So then, when Kid figures out Advanced Conqueror's Haki, because he's seen it multiple times and he has Conqueror's Haki, and then takes him out, I feel like that's the only way it could work. Because if Kid takes him out full power Shanks, even exhausted by a Luffy fight, with full on, straight on, no sneak attack, no nothing, that would be fucking mental, man. You'd have the fucking Eustass Captain Mid people going fucking crazy. That'd be exciting though. I'm not gonna lie to you. But that's my main idea for Kid's villain arc in Elbaf. I think it'd be very interesting to see. It might really help people kind of, find Kid more enjoyable. Have a bit of a difference between we support Luffy-san or whatever the fuck, Have a bit more of a different character. It'd be very fun to see. That's me personally, though. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you all later. Goodbye.